This helps.
Was it Stormtide Leviathan?
It was not Stormtide Leviathan.
You've been really.
It helps. It helps a lot, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Oh Jesus!
For Vengeful Archon.
Oh brother! Prevent the next damage that would be dealt to you this turn if damage is prevented this way. Deals that much damage to target. Oh Jesus Christ! Well, that's scary.
Okay, I will end.
So your answer was a creature, huh? Because I have an answer for your creature, Mr. Gerdat.
You got a fling?
It's an act of treason.
Dang it! I'm going to spend 2.
Mana leak.
There.
Oh. Oh, okay. So prevent the next X damage that would be dealt to you this turn, and then you could deal that damage back to me, but you can only deal up to the damage that you're preventing, which is 2.
Yep.
Okay. So from there, I'm gonna pay 3. No, I'm gonna pay 5, just to show you that I could do this. The Fire Servant.
Okay.
Fire Servant doubles the amount of damage that any red instant or sorcery spell I cast would deal, and these effects are cumulative if you have multiple Fire Servants in play. However, I don't have a Lightning Bolt in my hand, so I can't use that ability this turn. What I can do is swing out with my able creatures. 2 of that damage is going to be prevented and redirected to... Actually, wait. Now, how does this work if I'm the one controlling the Vengeful Archon?
I've already spent it, so
I can deal it. I can deal it to you.
I don't think so.
So So the you that it was when you used the ability was you.
Yep.
But now, if damage is prevented this way, and it will be because you are still the recipient of that damage prevention, Vengeful Archon deals that much damage to target player. But the second effect predicates only on the first getting triggered, which means that at this point, I think I'm the one.
Archon, you can redirect both of those points of damage back at me.
Back at you, because I'm the one who controls him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that looks like game, because I'm swinging at you for 14 now.
Yep, that's 14 damage. I prevent 2, and then Vengeful Archon redirects the 2 back at me. So, there we go.
Wow. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I wouldn't say fallen. I did get to show off. I did get to show off a good portion of what I wanted to show off for this deck. I will say that my big issue with this is that I didn't get to show off one particular card, but this particular card only really works if I get a Johnny's Mantra out with it. So, well, there are 3 cards in my deck that I wanted to show off because they are, one of them is relatively famous. First of which, of course, is Ajani's Pridemate. I do believe that Corset 2011, although isn't the first printing of this, is honestly one of the first instances where Ajani's Pridemate is just factually one of the best creatures that we have printed. It is honestly stupidly OP, especially with Ajani's Mantra. But I'm not sure if its original printing was in Theros, but it came around at the same time that Theros was legal, and the Theros gave it a lot of really good, powerful stuff. The other stuff that I wanted to show off specifically was Sleep. Sleep casts Frost on all of your opponent's minions, and it's fucking amazing. I love that.
Right, because it will bring an army to its knees. And of course, the Stormtide Leviathan that you kept trying to dig.
I kept trying to dig for it because I had the mana to cast it. I actually did. The problem is, although it would have helped me, it wasn't gonna really win the game for me unless I got it on that one turn when unless I actually had scored it with Conundrum Sphinx.
So I have a question for you, Mr. Gerdat.
Shoot.
Where's Augury Owl?
Now, why would I be running Augury Owl?
Because it's a flyer and it's blue colored and it gives you scry 3 when it ETBs.
It's also a 1/1.
But so the reason why I'm asking is I think that card would have been brilliant for your deck, especially because you spent a lot of the game just digging for the right card. Also, the way I thought that this matchup was going to go, as I was putting this little Act of Vengeance together, it says Act of Treason. That was pretty funny. I thought you were going to be pinging me for flying damage pretty much throughout the game. I thought that's what was going to happen, but then you...
Well, I wanted to do that, to be perfectly honest, but I ran into a problem, Mr. Cloud. Augury Owl is effectively the only low-cost flyer in the entire set.
So run it in quads and have a good time.
I'm not going to run it in quads when I'm trying to show off the set. I like the set. I do. I think the set, specifically in limited play, is actually relatively fun. I think Azorius Flyers is one of the more balanced archetypes here, but there is a rather interesting problem with it not having all that many minions. Sword of Vengeance, specifically, is a great goddamn equip spell. It just has way too expensive of an equip cost. And Sarah Ascendant has got such a high ceiling that it can honestly be stupidly amazing. Preordain is pretty much Ponder, just with a little bit weaker. And Ponder is banned in most formats, so there's that.
Is Sarah Ascendant...
I like Condemn because it's Path of Exile, with the exception of it doesn't actually accelerate your opponent's board state. There are a lot of and then we have the combination of the 2-drop cycle of enchantments that's here that are linked to the planeswalkers. I think there's a full cycle. I know Ajani's Mantra and Jace's Erasure are here, and I want to say that there's one for Chandra, and I think there's one for Nissa as well. I don't think that there's one for Lily though.
Well, Lily has, like, Liliana's Spectre and Liliana's Caress, I think, is the corresponding enchantment, because she makes you discard, and then the Caress deals damage as players discard.
Okay.
I was going to ask, is Sarah Ascendant banned in Commander?
I don't think so.
I mean, you can only run one of it. But, I mean, starting the game with a fucking 6/6 with flying and lifelink is... That's gotta...
How are you gonna tutor it, Cloud?
That's gotta suck. I know, it's inconsistent, but still, what the fuck? I mean, that wasn't the intended design, because I don't even think Commander was a thing until, like, 3 years after they made this set.
Not true at all. Commander started when the first time that we had Commander play casually was Legends, because the Elder Dragons were in Legends.
Oh. Gotcha.
Commander doesn't become an official format until significantly after that, mind you, but Commander isn't actually an official format any damn way. But getting back to the set, I really enjoy this set. I do. I think for a core set, it's got a lot of interesting stuff. It shows off that just because a card has big numbers on it doesn't mean it's fucking useful. Looking at you, Stormtide Leviathan. I like the design for Stormtide Leviathan. I really do, but it's way too fucking expensive. It has a really big body, but the price for that big body is that you can never get it the fuck out. Yeah.
I think Stormtide Leviathan is best used in Simic.
Yes, but that would require Simic to actually run a ramp engine, and Simic doesn't do ramp that well.
Oh, I mean, it could try.
It could try, and then it ends up bombing, because that's not what Simic is. That's not what the guild Simic actually does. What Simic wants to do is build a Legion of Towers, and it can do that every once in a while, but really depends on the set that you're in. Any other big cards that you wanted to show off?
I mean, I've showed off pretty much my entire set. I had done numerous hand simulations where if I get a turn, I think one of the biggest combos I had was it was a turn 7 kill, turn 5 Fire Servant, turn 6 Inferno Titan, turn 7 Fling. And I think with that combination of damage and maybe like a lightning bolt here or there along the way to turn 5 would have caused a turn 7 knockout. But not against a deck.
Fling gets the modifier for Fire Servant. At least, yeah, because of... Yeah, it does. All right.
However, I was not counting on you using life gain, so that was a very interesting
little bit of life
interaction.
gain. It's just Sarah's Ascendant and Ashani's Mantra. That's it.
Well, I mean, you gained in the game when you were gaining life. You gained at least like 12 life points off of just that one card.
Yep.
So that made a difference. That pushed me to figure out ways to. And let me say again, I thought that Indestructible Knights would have been brilliant for your deck, and that's why I didn't run Combust. Combust was my original idea, like, oh, I cannot wait to use this against Gerdat to snap his winning streak, because he already told me he's running white and blue, and Combust only affects creatures that are white and blue color. However, it cannot combust. I cannot make indestructible knights explode. They just fart in their pants. And it has no effect.
Well, it still deals damage. They just don't die from it.
They don't die from the damage, exactly. I mean, I could have used... I could have used that other red card that deals 5 damage to everything on the board and makes us basically go back to 2 lands, which would have been devastating for you if you only had 5 lands out.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go for a more direct approach and really take a risk that against the rising tide of early game damage, but as it turns out, you weren't going for an early game damage approach. You were mostly building a board to make yourself invulnerable by the time I got to the point where I would be landing a coup de grace.
Right. It's how I prefer to play Magic, honestly. I prefer mid-range.
Yeah, it's a good. It's healthy. It gives everybody a chance to get involved in the game versus getting stomped out or otherwise precluded from playing by assholes who would rather win than actually play the game they're winning.
Colossus hammered in.
Colossus hammer. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about this set. I kind of understand why Fire Servant never got a reprint. I think that I mean, first of all, it's too fucking expensive, and second of all, red instants and red sorceries are not the only types of cards that can deal lots of damage. If it included planeswalkers, if it included creatures, if it just said red source in general, then that would have been awesome. Also, that Reverberate is a pretty powerful red spell in a deck that I would like to copy instant and sorcery spells. I thought that this is pretty much what red wanted me to do with the core set.
Right. So with that concludes our Magic the Gathering Core Set 2011 exploration. Cloud has snapped my winning streaks apparently, and next time it'll be his turn to pick out the set. I'm kind of hoping he does one of the newer Innistrad sets, because we did the Commander for Midnight Hunt, right? We did Commander for Midnight Hunt.
I can't remember.
Oh well. Be safe, everybody.
Platinum Angel.